There comes a moment in every life when the ground beneath you crumbles, when the world you've built, your dreams, your plans, your certainty, collapses in an instant. It's not a question of if it will happen. It's a question of when, and in that moment, when you're staring into the abyss of failure, loss, or despair, you have a choice. A choice that will define not just your future, but who you are at your core. Do you fall and stay fallen, or do you rise again and again and again until the world itself bends to your will? Rockefeller, the man who built an empire from nothing, knew this truth better than anyone. He wasn't born into wealth or privilege. He wasn't handed success on a silver platter. No, he was forged in the fires of adversity, shaped by the relentless hammer of setbacks, and molded by a belief so unshakable that it turned every fall into a stepping stone. He once said, "I do not think that there is any other quality so essential to success of any kind as the quality of perseverance. It overcomes almost everything, even nature." Perseverance, resilience, the unbreakable strength to rise after every fall. This is not just a lesson from history. This is a blueprint for your life, because the same force that drove Rockefeller to build an empire can drive you to build yours, whatever that may look like. Whether it's in business, in your personal life, or in the pursuit of a dream that keeps you awake at night, the principle remains the same. Setbacks are not the end. Derstanze. They are the beginning of your comeback. But here's the truth most people won't tell you. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's not a gift. It's a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with every strain, every tear, every moment you refuse to stay down. Rockefeller's life is a testament to this. He faced bankruptcy, betrayal, and the collapse of entire industries. Yet each time, he rose, not just to survive, but to thrive, to dominate, to leave a legacy that outlasts empires. And so can you. This is not about blind optimism. This is not about pretending that pain doesn't exist or that failure doesn't sting. No, this is about staring into the face of your darkest moments and saying, "I will not be broken. I will not be defeated. I will rise higher than ever before." Because here's the secret. Every fall carries within it the seed of a greater rise. Every setback is a setup for a comeback, but only if you choose to see it that way. Only if you choose to believe that the fire that burns you can also forge you into something stronger. Rockefeller didn't just believe this, he lived it, and in the pages of his life, we find the map to our own resilience. Let me take you back to a time when Rockefeller was just a young man, standing at the edge of ruin. It was the 1850s, and the world was in chaos. The economy was crumbling, businesses were failing, and the future looked bleak. Rockefeller, barely in his 20s, had invested everything he had into a fledgling business. And it was failing. Fast, he could have given up. He could have walked away, chalked it up to bad luck, and moved on. But that's not what he did. Instead, he doubled down. He worked harder, smarter, and with a focus so intense it bordered on obsession. He didn't just want to survive, he wanted to conquer. And he did. From the ashes of that near collapse, Rockefeller built the foundations of what would become Standard Oil, an empire that would change the world. But it wasn't luck, it wasn't timing, it was resilience. It was the refusal to let failure have the last word. You see, Rockefeller understood something profound. Failure is not a verdict. It's a lesson, it's a test. It's the universe asking you, how badly do you want this? How far are you willing to go? How much are you willing to endure? And your answer, your choice, in that moment will determine everything. But let's be real, resilience isn't just about enduring. It's about transforming. It's about taking the pain, the struggle, the setbacks, and alchemizing them into power, into wisdom, into a force that propels you forward with even greater momentum. Rockefeller didn't just bounce back from his failures, he used them as fuel. He studied them, dissected them, and extracted every ounce of value from them. He didn't waste time wallowing in self-pity or blame. He didn't make excuses, he took responsibility, learned the lesson, and moved forward, stronger, sharper, and more determined than ever. And that's the key. That's the difference between those who rise and those who stay fallen. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about embracing it. It's about understanding that every setback is a setup for a greater comeback, if you're willing to do the work. But let's be clear, this isn't easy. Resilience isn't a passive quality. It's not something you can wish for or hope for. It's something you build. Day by day, choice by choice, action by action. It starts with your mindset, with the way you see the world, with the stories you tell yourself when things go wrong. Do you see failure as a sign that you're not good enough? Or do you see it as a necessary step on the path to greatness? Do you see setbacks as proof that you should quit? Or do you see them as opportunities to grow, to learn, to evolve? Your answer to these questions will determine the trajectory of your life. Rockefeller chose to see every fall as a chance to rise higher. He chose to believe that no obstacle was too great, no challenge too daunting, no setback too devastating. He chose to believe in himself, in his vision, in his purpose, in his ability to overcome. And that belief, that unshakable conviction, is what carried him through the darkest times. But belief alone isn't enough. It's the foundation, yes. But resilience requires more. It requires clarity. It requires vision. It requires a purpose so compelling that it pulls you forward, even when every fiber of your being wants to give up. Rockefeller had that clarity. He knew exactly what he wanted. Not just to build a business, but to build an empire. To create something that would outlast him. To leave a legacy that would shape the world for generations. And that vision, that purpose, gave him the strength to keep going, no matter how many times he fell. You need that too. You need a vision so vivid, so powerful, that it becomes your North Star. Something that guides you, inspires you, and reminds you why you're fighting, even when the odds are stacked against you. Because here's the truth. Resilience isn't just about surviving the storm, it's about thriving in it. It's about using the storm to propel you to heights you never could have reached otherwise. Rockefeller didn't just weather the storms of his life, he harnessed them. He turned them into wind at his back, pushing him forward, faster and farther than he ever could have gone without them. And you can do the same. But it starts with a choice. A choice to rise, a choice to believe, a choice to act, not in spite of your setbacks, but because of them. Because every fall is an opportunity, every setback is a setup, every failure is a lesson. And if you're willing to embrace that truth, if you're willing to do the work, to build your resilience, to turn your pain into power, then there is no limit to how high you can rise. So the next time you fall, and you will fall, remember this: the ground is not your destination. It's your launch pad. Rise and rise again, until the world itself marvels at your strength. You've heard it said that resilience is the key to rising after every fall. But resilience alone is not enough. It's the spark, yes, but to build an empire, to create a legacy, to turn your life into something extraordinary, you need more. You need a vision so clear, so vivid, that it becomes the compass of your soul. You need a purpose so profound that it fuels your every step. And you need the discipline to turn that vision into reality, no matter the cost. Rockefeller didn't just survive his setbacks, he thrived because he had something greater pulling him forward. A vision that was bigger than any obstacle, any doubt, any fear. He saw the world not as it was, but as it could be. And in that vision, he found the strength to keep going when others would have quit. Let me ask you this. What do you see when you close your eyes? What is the dream that burns inside you, the one that refuses to die, no matter how many times life knocks you down? That dream, that vision, is your lifeline. It's the reason you get up in the morning, the reason you push through the pain, the reason you refuse to settle for anything less than what you know you're capable of. Rockefeller's vision wasn't just to build a business. It was to revolutionize an industry, to create a system so efficient, so powerful, that it would change the way the world worked. He saw the chaos of the oil market, the waste, the inefficiency, the missed opportunities, and he envisioned something better, something greater. And that vision became his obsession. But vision without purpose is just a daydream. Purpose is what gives your vision weight. It's the why behind the what. It's the deeper meaning that turns your actions into a mission, your struggles into a story, your life into a legacy. For Rockefeller, his purpose wasn't just about wealth or power. It was about order. It was about creating something that would bring stability to an unstable world. He believed that by building Standard Oil, he was building a better future, not just for himself, but for the entire nation. And that belief, that sense of purpose, gave him the strength to endure the criticism, the lawsuits, the betrayals, and the endless battles that came with his rise. You need that too. You need a purpose that goes beyond the superficial, beyond the temporary, beyond the self. Because when your purpose is bigger than you, it becomes a force that cannot be stopped. It becomes the fire that burns through every excuse, every distraction, every moment of weakness. But here's the thing, vision and purpose are nothing without discipline. Discipline is the bridge between what you dream and what you do. It's the daily commitment to your vision, the relentless pursuit of your purpose, the unwavering focus that turns ideas into empires. Rockefeller was a man of extraordinary discipline. He didn't just work hard, he worked smart. He was meticulous, methodical, and mercilessly efficient. He didn't waste time on things that didn't matter. He didn't let emotions cloud his judgment. He didn't allow setbacks to derail him. He stayed the course day after day, year after year, until his vision became reality. And that's what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's discipline, it's the ability to show up every single day. And do the work, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when no one is watching. But let's be honest, discipline isn't sexy. It's not glamorous. It's not the stuff of highlight reels or viral videos. It's the quiet, unglamorous grind that happens behind the scenes. It's the early mornings and late nights. It's the sacrifices and the trade-offs. It's the moments when you'd rather do anything else, but you do what needs to be done anyway. Rockefeller understood this. He knew that success isn't built on grand gestures or overnight miracles. It's built on the accumulation of small, consistent actions over time. It's built on the compound effect of daily discipline. And here's the beautiful part. Discipline doesn't just build your dreams. It builds you. It shapes your character. It strengthens your will. It turns you into the kind of person who can handle success when it comes. Because make no mistake, success is heavy. It requires a strong back to carry it. But there's more to Rockefeller's story than just vision, purpose, and discipline. There's something deeper, something that often goes unnoticed, but is absolutely essential to his success. Gratitude. Yes, gratitude. It might seem out of place in a story about resilience and empire building, but it's not. Gratitude is the quiet force that keeps you grounded. It's the reminder that no matter how far you've come, you didn't get here alone. It's the acknowledgement of the lessons, the people, the opportunities, even the struggles that have shaped you. Rockefeller was a man of deep faith and profound gratitude. He believed that every blessing, every setback, every moment was part of a greater plan. And that belief gave him peace. It gave him perspective. It allowed him to navigate the storms of life with a calm, steady hand. In your own journey, gratitude will be your anchor. It will keep you humble when success comes knocking. It will keep you hopeful when failure looms large. It will remind you that every step, every fall, every rise is part of your story. And that story is still being written. But gratitude alone won't carry you through. You also need adaptability. The world is constantly changing, and so must you. Rockefeller didn't just build an empire, he evolved it. He adapted to new technologies, new markets, new challenges. He didn't cling to the past. He didn't rest on his laurels. He stayed ahead of the curve, always learning, always growing, always innovating. And that's the final piece of the puzzle, continuous learning. Rockefeller was a voracious learner. He studied his industry, his competitors, his own mistakes. He sought out knowledge like a man possessed, knowing that the more he learned, the more he could achieve. You must do the same. Never stop learning. Never stop growing. Never assume that you've arrived. The moment you think you know it all is the moment you begin to fall behind. Because here's the truth, The world doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't care about your past successes or your future dreams. It only responds to what you do now. And if you're not adapting, if you're not learning, if you're not evolving, you will be left behind. But if you embrace the mindset of continuous learning, if you stay curious, stay hungry, stay humble, then there is no limit to what you can achieve. So let me leave you with this. Your vision is your compass. Your purpose is your fuel. Your discipline is your engine. Your gratitude is your anchor. Your adaptability is your wings. And your commitment to continuous learning is the wind beneath them. Together, these qualities will carry you through every storm, every setback, every fall. They will turn your dreams into reality, your struggles into strength, your life into a legacy. But it all starts with a choice to see beyond the present moment, a choice to believe in something greater, a choice to act day after day with unwavering focus and unrelenting drive. Rockefeller made that choice. And in doing so, he didn't just build an empire, he built a blueprint for greatness. Now it's your turn. What will you choose? You've been given the tools, you've been shown the path. Resilience, vision, purpose, discipline, gratitude, adaptability, continuous learning. These are the pillars of greatness. But there's one final piece, one essential truth that ties them all together. Without it, everything you've learned is just potential, waiting to be unleashed. With it, you become unstoppable. That piece is action. Rockefeller didn't build an empire by dreaming, he didn't rise to the top by wishing. He acted. He took bold, decisive, relentless action day after day, year after year, in the face of every obstacle, every doubt, every fear. He understood that the world doesn't reward intention, it rewards execution. It rewards those who dare to step into the arena, to get their hands dirty, to turn their vision into reality through sheer force of will. But not just any action. Rockefeller's actions were infused with a relentless pursuit of excellence. He wasn't content with good enough. He wasn't satisfied with average. He demanded the best. From himself, from his team, from every aspect of his business. Excellence wasn't a goal. It was a standard. It was the non-negotiable price of entry into the world he was creating. Picture this, the early days of Standard Oil. The oil industry was a chaotic frontier, full of inefficiencies, waste, and ruthless competition. Most would have settled for survival, scraping by in the madness, but not Rockefeller. He saw beyond the chaos. He saw an opportunity to build something extraordinary. He obsessed over every detail, the refining process, the transportation methods, the supply chains. He questioned everything. He innovated relentlessly. And through his actions, he didn't just survive, he redefined the game. He built a system so efficient, so precise, that it became the gold standard for an entire industry. Excellence isn't just about what you do, it's about how you do it. It's about refusing to settle, refusing to cut corners, refusing to accept anything less than your best. Rockefeller didn't just act, he acted with intention, with precision, with a commitment to excellence that turned his efforts into an empire. Now, let's bring this home. What are you doing with your time, your energy, your life? Are you taking action, real, bold, decisive action? Or are you waiting for the stars to align? Because here's the truth, there is no perfect moment. There's only now. And if you're not acting now, you're not moving forward, you're stagnating. But action alone isn't enough. You must act with excellence. Bring your best to every moment, every task, every step. Excellence is a habit, forged in the fire of consistent, deliberate choices. Rockefeller didn't become a titan by accident. He chose to act, and he chose to excel, every single day. And you can too. This isn't easy. Excellence demands sacrifice. It demands discipline. It demands that you push past fear, past doubt, past the temptation to settle. But that's where the magic happens. Beyond the comfort zone, in the grind, in the relentless pursuit of more. Not more for greed's sake, but more for the sake of your potential, your purpose, your legacy. The world doesn't need more mediocrity. It needs excellence. It needs you, at your best, acting with purpose, raising the bar for what's possible. When you commit to action and excellence, you don't just change your life, you change the world. Rockefeller's legacy proves it. His name echoes through history not just for wealth, but for impact, for the systems he built, the standards he set, the lives he touched. None of that would have happened without action, without excellence. So what's stopping you? Fear? Doubt? That voice whispering you're not enough? Silence it. Prove it wrong. Act, excel, show the world what you're made of. Here's your challenge. Take action today. Start small if you must, but start. Take that first step. Commit to excellence in every move you make. Raise your standards, demand more from yourself, and watch as your life transforms. When you do, you'll build more than success. You'll build a legacy. Something that lasts, something that inspires, something that matters. That's what Rockefeller did. That's what you can do. It starts now, with a choice to act, a choice to excel, a choice to rise again and again until you've claimed the life you were meant to live. So what will you choose? This is your moment. Seize it, own it. Act with excellence and let the world marvel at your strength. If this hit you deep, if it lit a fire inside you, then take action right now. Like this video. It's a small step, but it's a start. Share it with someone who needs this spark, someone ready to rise. Drop a comment below. Tell me your next move, your story, your commitment. And if you're all in, subscribe. This is just the beginning. More inspiration, more fire, more truth is coming your way. Together we rise, together we excel. Let's make it happen. Hit that subscribe button and join the journey.